Evans' three-point shot.
It's a powering shot, baby.
The following is a production of the Rough Rider broadcast team, a presentation of Watlington and Shires Productions. Hello, everyone. Hello. Greetings. Hello. There I am. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the big program. It's the Meeks Show, live from the pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. And we went on the air when I had a mouthful of pepperoni pizza, and it's so good. You need to come by Pizzeria and see what I'm talking about. Yes. You will not be disappointed.
You turn me up.
Now you're up, sir. Right now.
Sure. There we are. There we go.
And this is Stephen Shires. This is Coach Harrison.
I got to start us off.
Go ahead.
So this is the Rick Meeks Show.
Yes, it is.
With Hiram Harrison.
That's right.
And so this is the Hiram Harrison portion. We're going to begin because Hiram Harrison is the head basketball coach for Center at Rough Riders, except he wasn't in the first quarter the other night.
Yeah, we had a different head coach for the first quarter of the game against Spring Hill. Now, but the strange thing was, Hiram was there.
Yes, I was there.
He was sitting second, third chair.
So there's a rule, right? That's been a Harrison basketball rule since time immemorial, that if you get a technical foul, you have to sit out a quarter.
Well, actually, you have to buy a steak for everybody.
Oh, that's true.
And the basketball coaches.
Oh,
so we just decided to I'll sit out a quarter with the boys who got a tech. Cash got a tech, so I sit down there with him, and we had a great time down there.
Does the steak thing, does that go to broadcasters, or is that just a coach?
Sorry, they're just a coach thing.
Oh, it's too bad.
Well, if we get a tech, we'll buy you a steak.
You know, I told you, I was telling Ratina that I got a tech one time on the bench, basketball game.
Oh,
wow.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I was.
Now, before you go, this is him as a student. He actually played basketball. You didn't sneak your way down to the bench.
No. I was a 6-man guy. Would come in and rebound and some.
Kurt Rambis.
Yes, well, a shorter, prettier version. But I was standing there, and it was a bad call or something. I just looked over. I just took to the guy sitting on the bench to me. I said, "I can't believe that call." And the official was walking by. It was a very unfortunate moment. He looked at me. He goes, "Really? What do you think about this one?"
You didn't even say a naughty word?
No, not even a naughty word.
Not even a naughty word.
No, that ain't. We need to get that technical back.
Yeah.
And Cash got his tech, and he did the same thing. That's for fun. He's talking to me. No, coach, no. Because he know in our rule that if you get a take, you got to come sit down the rest of the game.
He's making his case.
Yeah, to me.
That
the
makes
ref
sense.
thought he was talking to him. I'm like, he's not even talking to you. And he said, well, who made the call? I said, you made the call. I said, well, he was talking to me then. I said, no, he was not. He was telling me that he didn't foul.
Yeah, you've already punished him.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to punish him next. It's like back in the old days when you got a whip at school, you were going to get one at home. He was trying to keep getting one from home.
That's right. That's exactly.
But to give everybody a context of what we're talking about, we're talking about the events that occurred on Tuesday night where the Rough Riders were fighting out for the lead in district with Chapel Hill. And it was an incredible game for a number of reasons. We just exploded on them, and we're up, I think, at one point by 19 points.
Right.
And then this a series of things happened, including them they ended up shooting 8 free throws, and from that period because there was an alleged foul, and then there was and then a couple of technicals. I mean, I'm not sure how it was, but it ended up being a mess, and then it became an incredible finish because I mean they got back into the game. It was just right there. And they hit a 3 with very little time left.
Right.
And pause there. We've got about 11 seconds, 10 seconds when that 3 goes up. And they had not been hitting threes until really the fourth quarter. And the guy I really want to go back and look at it again. I don't even think that was a shot. He was off balance, my recollection, and he kind of threw up a throw up.
Well, I talked to Coach Johnson. He called yesterday. You know, I coached him back when he was when I was at Chapel Hill, and he's a little old freshman. But I talked to him. I said, was that shot planned. He said, no, it wasn't planned. It was supposed to go to another guy. He said, we had set up something to he's supposed to be the passer, the guy who took the shot.
Yeah.
So he took the shot, but it went in. I'm like, well, okay, well.
It went in. It didn't even, to me, it didn't even look like a shot. It just kind of looked like
Like it was hot. I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah,
Get
I don't
rid
know
of
what
it.
I'm going to do with this. And it went in, and it just, at that point, you just think, well, the basketball gods.
There's not really anything you can do about that. But it wasn't over. I mean, they come down, and then we end up shooting. We're down. We're down 3.
We're down 3. That's right.
We're down 3, and we shoot a free throw. We hit the one, and we have to miss the second one. We miss it, and then there's just a scrum for the basketball. We end up with it with the basketball back with an out of bounds play with a chance to tie it up.
Right.
And then we
But
were
the
unable
play
to.
didn't count because there was a timeout. They called timeout, and that's when Rick. I was filming about 10 feet from Coach Meeks, about as far as I am from him now, and I thought he was going. Someone was going to have to keep him from storming the court.
Yes.
You can't call timeout when he's at the line. You can't do that. What are you thinking? And I thought, I'm with him. And I'm just the camera guy. And, I mean, it was pandemonium.
Yeah,
but
it
because
was.
of that timeout that I don't think was even legal, we didn't have the ball anymore. We had a chance to win there.
Yeah.
So now talk us through the rest of it.
Well, from what I understand that we missed the free throw. We got the rebound. They got the rebound. We tied them up. We knew we had the possession arrow.
Right.
So we tied it up. And for some reason, they're talking about, I don't know what they were talking about, the referees, but I'm like, we got the ball. I'm trying to set something up while the referees are talking. So I'm setting it up. Say, hey, this is we're running. Do this. Do this. Do this. And then we get the ball. We set it up. So I'm looking to see what they're in and what they're trying to do. So I called a timeout, and so I just told them, we're going to run this, and this is how we have to run it, and just make the pass. And everything came open. We just made an errant pass, and that was the ball game.
Yeah, everything had to have been absolutely perfect.
Right.
And
But I would just like to say I appreciate all the fans coming out. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys after the game. And I didn't get a chance to talk to you Friday, but I just want to say, man, it was a great atmosphere.
It was.
Everybody talking about that. I just want to give the community and the fans and whoever came out.
One of the best things about it was Coach brought his soccer team. They were rained out.
That was wonderful. That was wonderful. And they come walking in. They got in a little student section. There was about 40 of them, looked like. But, that was great.
They singing and crusading and chanting, and
Yeah.
there at the end when it was getting out of control, they joined everybody. There was an element and an atmosphere of displeasure in the room the last game.
But before that, there was an element of excitement, and I was glad that we saw that. I mean, Chris and I have been talking about that because that was how it is most years for our games, especially on especially on Friday. I mean, this was a Tuesday night, but especially these Friday nights. I mean, these games are like that, and it was been kind of. I don't know if docile is the word. I just wonder, Coach, if everybody's just so they just expect us to be good, and they're just kind of almost spoiled.
That may be true, and you guys doing a good job showing the game, so they better
they're
stay
not
home.
coming.
No, we tell them you can come back and watch the game. later.
We tell you people.
Yeah, come to the games.
Come to the games.
Come to the games, and then you can listen to us, and then you can go back and watch. And for when Cash dunk or when somebody dunks or when somebody gets a charge.
Man, that turns me up right there.
Yeah. The charge is the best part of the game.
Yeah.
But help me remember, and Retina is not on camera, but you can help us with this. My memory is that even these games that are exciting in the past, it seems like the first half of district is not as well attended. And when we're doing well, the second half is kind of when the crowd gets there. Now, is that am I right on that, or is that?
Yeah, that's pretty much head on because again, I think they expect us to win, and the second half, they just want to come see us because they haven't seen us. And
Right.
normally we don't play at home. I think we had one home game. Man.
Right. Yeah. Pre-district.
Yeah, one
We
game.
keep the gym nice and clean.
Yeah, but we just
Right.
want to get out there and play and compete.
So, right. So go back on Tuesday. Let's talk just a minute more, then we'll take a quick break. But so we'll finish up talking about Tuesday, then we'll turn to take a break and then talk about Friday.
Okay.
So, I mean, a couple things about it, right? I mean, one, we have this huge lead. We are just clicking on all cylinders, and then we let off the gas, and then we get a series, not just one or two, but a series of goofy calls that we can all disagree with. Even our co-host, the play-by-play man, who's from Chapel Hill, even questioned a couple of the goofy calls. There was one right in front of us where they tackled Cash. I mean, it was like a cross body block, and there was no foul. And our co-commentator from Chapel Hill said, "My God, how is that not a foul?"
Yeah.
And so, I mean, but anyway, so at the end of the day,
And I asked the ref, I said, "Ref, that wasn't a foul." He said, "Oh, he didn't touch me. He just tripped on his own." I said, "He's a D1 athlete. They don't just trip."
Right. But so at the end of the day, right, we lose a big lead.
That's
we have
why I trip so much.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's solved it. It's been 50-something years to figure that out.
Well, I never had a prayer.
But what did you tell the team after after such a weird turn of events? We drop a big lead. We have all these things happen, and then we have a chance to tie it up at the end, and we're not able to.
I just told them, I was proud of the way they played. They played tough. They came out and played. We always talk about playing 32 minutes, and we didn't play 32 minutes. We turned the ball over quite a bit. Like I said earlier, I talked to Sunday, I talked to Chapel Hill coach. He called me maybe once, twice a week, and he said, I was about 2 minutes from turning it, just throwing in the towel because you guys were on a roll. Then you start turning it over. You turn it over once, you turn it over 3 times, then you turn it over 4th time. Now we back in it.
Right.
He said I was that close from throwing in the towel, but I just told him we just got to finish. Coach Meeks been talking about it. Everybody talks about it every day, every game. We got to finish. We got to finish. We got to finish, and we didn't finish, and we had our opportunities. And I told them we had opportunities to come out and finish them at home. We talked about the last time we lost at home. It was 2022.
Yeah.
To Hudson.
Yeah.
It was 50-48. So I remember that well.
Yeah.
February the 8th, matter of fact. But it hurt, and the kids they hurt, and they still kind of hurt. But we got to move on.
That's
Yeah,
right.
For 3 quarters, you were the best team in the district. You might have been one of the best teams in the state. The performance until the collapse is something to work towards and know that you can still do it. But there's much to talk about that happened after Tuesday, back on Friday, and then we're looking ahead to the rest of the district. So we will be back with Coach Harrison here in just a moment. I want to say thank you again to the Pizzeria and for hosting this is such a great idea, but it tastes good. I mean, it's not just a great place, it's a great tasting place. Come on and get a pizza or pasta. And I had a ham sandwich today that's enough to beat the band. You kept telling me it was good, and it was. So come on out to the Pizzeria. We'll be right back with more of the Coach Meeks Show with Hiram Harrison.
Live from the Pizzeria, you're watching the Coach Rick Meeks Show, brought to you by Sabine State Bank.
At Sabine State Bank, you have a lot of things going for you. It's a small office, so every
Have you sustained a bone, joint, work, or sports injury? Problems with mobility or movement? Suffer with pain? Contact Azalea Orthopedics. Our specialists serve patients across East Texas. For proven, trusted medical care, you have a choice. Demand Azalea.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the Pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
All right, folks, welcome back. Again, this is the Coach Rick Meeks Show with special guest Hiram Harrison, who's kind of like actually the star of the show during the winter, and brought to you by Sabine State Bank, live here from the pizzeria. Coach snuck in, got him a piece of pizza during the break. We do have one piece of pepperoni. I was able to snatch that and save that for you, Coach. Yeah, he ordered 2. Yeah. So during the Piney Woods coaches show, the pepperoni pizza was destroyed.
Pineywood coaches, they can eat some pizza.
They can.
It
was a whole bunch of them too. Well, Coach, let's turn to Friday night. We got a victory. It was a hard-fought, tough victory. I mean,
It was.
and talk about that. I mean, we came out and shot. I think kind of streaky, right? I mean.
Well, you know, I talked to the guys about, you know, going over the second round is going to be a little bit tougher, especially going to Spring Hill. I knew they were going to shoot better than they shot in center, and they did. And I think they made 13 threes.
Yes.
And it's hard to withstand those threes they were knocking down. But you know, we got the win.
Yeah.
And that's
the most important
part.
I felt like, you know, the girls' game kind of went like the guys' game.
Right,
They were very similar, about the same single-digit win.
Mm-hmm.
The outcome was kind of in doubt for a little while there, both games, and real slow-paced.
Well, I think you talked about Wallington. They had offensive possessions that lasted like 48 seconds, minute and a half.
Right.
And we got up by double digits, you know, right there, small double digits, and then we just kind of vacillated between that and about 8. I think they closed it down when they
closed it down to 5.
Yeah.
I think it's 50 to 45.
That team could
14.
win if they hit 80 or 90% of their shots after those 1-minute possessions. That was not the case. They'd play for a minute and miss, and we get the rebound. But
Right. The thing is, you know, they played us hard, and you know they're sitting down there in 3rd and 4th place. Them and Gilmer's fighting for that 4th place spot,
Right.
so they got something to fight for. And
yeah,
you know, Coach Eisenhower did a good job over there preparing those guys for us.
it's playing to their strengths. I mean, they're not
right.
wildly athletic, and they're not tall, but they competed with y'all.
They did.
And it was a little surprising because they didn't compete really. We beat them by 24 when they came to center. Were you a little surprised that?
No, you know, we kind of prepared the boys for that. We just you got to go in there and play. Nobody's going to back down from you now. Everybody know who you are, so we just got to go in there and play and shoot and defend and rebound. And you know, we had to do that at the end to win it.
I felt like you and Chapel Hill and most of the good teams, you attack. Your style is kind of like a rattlesnake. They play like a boa constrictor. They want to slowly strangle you. And I mean, I guess they were having enough success with that to be in the playoff consideration.
They are. They're doing. He's doing a good job over there with those guys.
Tell us about Gilmer. I missed the Gilmer game. You did not. You went, and for whatever reason, I wasn't there. Characterize the Gilmer team.
You know, they're similar to us. They're gonna try to get out and run, but I don't think they can run with us. But that's what he wants to do, and you know, they shot well at home. We just got to play better. We got to focus on us and things that we do well. You know, we're gonna press a little bit more rest of the way and see what happens. But the kids are playing hard and everybody's healthy, so we're excited about that.
Yeah, the health thing is important.
That is important.
I would say that. I mean, and we stomped them up there, but they were a very athletic group. I just think we were more polished and more skilled basketball team than those guys were. But they got a couple guys that were. I mean,
they have some players.
Yeah,
they have some players, and you know, it's not going to be an either win. But like I was telling the guys today, you know, it'll be close until we decide we don't want it to be close.
Right.
Anymore.
I like the way that sounds, and it's we need to move on. And I wanted to. It may be a little early to ask this, but we know we're going to be in the playoffs somewhere. It looks like we're going to be the 2nd seed. Weirder things have happened that we could be first. God forbid we're 3rd. But as we look to the other by district, who you seeing over there that gets your attention?
You know, we're looking at that District 18, and right now Hudson's first place over there, and then you have Jacksonville in third, and I think Bullets in second, and Palestine maybe in fourth. So all four of those teams are pretty good. We played Bullard, and they beat us by 6 at their place. But we're not that team anymore.
Right. That was pretty early.
We beat Hudson over in the tournament up in Beaumont, and we just got to go and play. Jacksonville will be tough. Palestine's old foe from an old district.
Yeah.
So, we've seen all those guys, and we got film on Jacksonville, so we'll be prepared whoever we play.
Well, it's looking forward to the playoffs, but business to take care of between now and then. We say thank you to JBI Financial, JBI Insurance, Joe Bill Matire, who has been with us with every game that we've played, with every sport for the last 2 or 3 years. We appreciate their continued support. And our sponsor of the night tonight is Hope Medical, and there's a reason that they bring us our injury report. And so far, it's always been a clean bill for you guys. But Friday or Saturday, this weekend, is the ribbon cutting for their Hope Medical's new mobile clinic. When the idea is sort of like the library has the bookmobile that goes to rural areas. This is a clinic that travels to places in rural areas where they can't get to the doctor. So that's a great outreach, a ministry as much as it is medicine. So they begin that adventure this weekend, and they invite you to come. It's on their Logan Sport Street office, which is right next to Bowles Feed, right? That's their home office. That's where the ribbon cutting will be. So we'll hear from Hope Medical and some others, and we'll be right back with the coach, Rick Meeks, as he makes his debut today on the Rick Meeks Show.
Right, taxes. We all got to take care of them. We all got to pay them. But do you really understand the rules, or are you like me? You just know they're out to get your money. Well, you need fast tax, and you need it fast because you put it off to the very end, so now you have to get it really, really quickly, and your money and your return is waiting for you at Fast Tax, Center, Texas. At Hope Community Medicine, they believe that more than medicine is needed when providing quality care for their patients. With locations throughout East Texas, the vision is to give hope to those who seek a better life by caring for their body, mind, and soul, and not about their ability to pay. Through the network of staff and locations, Hope seeks to be primary provider of medical, dental, and behavioral health. Because the difference that Hope makes is the difference between night and day. Hope Community Health.
At Rough Rider Oil and Lube, they understand 2 very important things. First, you and your family spend a lot of time in your vehicle, so you need to take good care of that vehicle so it can take care of you. That's the specialty of Rough Rider Oil and Lube, protecting the engine that gets you where you need to go. Second, Rough Rider fans, they deserve the very best, so you're always welcome at Rough Rider Oil and Lube.
Batters Law Firm is proud to be a third-generation law firm, serving the injured people of East Texas since 1964. Batters has settled thousands of cases and paid out over $25 million to clients from settlements in the past 2 years. Visit one of their locations for your free, no-appointment consultation and let the Batters team implement their proven approach that incorporates treatment and recovery while maximizing settlements and payouts. Batters Law Firm, serving you in Nacogdoches, Lufkin Center, and Houston. Remember, when it matters, call Batters. 833-BATTERS. 833-BADDERS.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Rick Meeks Show, live here from the Pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Off there, we were just talking about whether or not Coach Campbell should have kicked the field goal to tie it up, or whether his call was correct and going for it. Of course, hindsight says he should have kicked the field goal, but some of us believe
I kicked the field goal anyway.
Instead of sitting there as a going, no, kick the field goal.
Because even the first one, even like we were talking about, Coach said maybe you kick it on first. Even that first one, I'm kicking the field goal because you're already up. If you don't make it, then what happened? It turned into a 20-point swing the other way, and then you had another opportunity to try, and then you didn't go for it. That was definitely you should have kicked the field goal. But still, that first one is where it all got messed up for Detroit. They should have just went for the points because it would have changed the field. That's just my feeling of it. You're in an NFC Championship game. You can do that during the regular season, but not in the NFC Championship game for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Bam. That's just the way I feel about it. I don't know. I mean, he's the one that gets paid all that big money.
Let's ask the professional coach here. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I'm not going to critique him because that's what people do to our job every day, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, when you let me ask you.
there's a different I mean, there's two answers from my standpoint here. I mean, there's an answer of potentially what I might have done,
Right.
but I also know throughout the year they are the team in the NFL that has went for the most fourth downs.
Yep.
And that philosophy got them to the NFC Championship game. And so it's easy to go back and critique him making that call, but he's been making it all year long.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't been making that call all year long, they're not playing yesterday. So, you know, I think there's my personal philosophy and his personal philosophy. You know, if Ricky Meeks was on the sideline,
Yeah.
we'd have kicked the field goal.
Right.
But I'm not saying that in terms of
We're not saying it was right or wrong.
Right, yeah,
You're not
that's
making
what
a
he
judgment.
That's what he should have done.
I know how great he was during the regular season.
Right.
But this game,
But
you
you
gotta
can't
have to be
you
a little
can't-
bit more.
But then that's when if you start making games bigger than the other games, then that's when
Right.
that's when players don't perform because
Right.
then they feel like the moment's too big. That's just
Yeah.
it's just got to be the next game.
Well, how many aggressive calls did he make against the Rams the week before?
Yeah.
That caused them to win it, and then
Right.
I know it just seems
I know,
to
I
me
agree
like
the first one-
because I ain't mad, but I'm just saying. It just to me, you just got to feel like in this one, to what the potential was is even though you've done so great with it, you still got to play safe somewhere along the line. You just feel like you have to. You have the lead. You have the chance. You're up by what 20 at that two scores or more, and get up even higher and make it even harder for them. Switch the field. That's just my philosophy. That's what I look at it.
I mean, the first one would have put them up 17 because San Francisco comes out and kicks a field goal on the first drive, so they cut the lead to 14. And so it's 24-10 at that point, and he went for it on the 4th and 3. It would have been about a 50-yard field goal. But I mean, in the NFL, that's relatively routine, potentially. And you know that would have made it 3 possessions. So I mean, I see that, but I mean, you know,
But you can think all different ways. But I was just saying,
No,
if it
I'm
was
with
me,
you,
that's
Coach.
the way I would
I
have done
think
it.
on that one, I think I would have gone for it because if you go down and you put it in the end zone, you're I don't know if you got the dagger all the way in the heart, but you're plunging it in.
You're
here's
starting
the
to put some
other
nails in the coffin.
here's the other side of it. If you go back to the play, it's not like they ran some off the wall play or they tried to run some, you know, flea flicker pass or some like trying to orchestrate yards. They threw a little hitch route and went right off the receiver's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, that ball should have been – it didn't hit him in the chest, but it was a catchable pass.
Right.
So, I mean, if he catches that,
totally
we're not even talking about this, you know, or not even talking about that scenario. Maybe we're talking about the next one later on in the game. But, you know, it's a few different ways, and he's been aggressive all year, and I give him a lot of credit for that because there's a lot of people that will say this is who I'm going to be, but when the situation really comes up, they're not that.
Yeah.
And he has stayed that way, and you can tell that the guys around him have taken on that mindset. And
well, there was
I was pulling for him, and I like
to
Shanahan and love what they do offensively.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
But I was pulling for him.
That's what's terrible about it because I mean, I can't root for the 49ers ever. They played the 81 championship game on NFL Network, getting ready for it, and it scarred me all over again. So I can, but yes, I love what Shanahan does. I love how they've put that team together and what they do offensively.
Right.
And of course, Campbell's a former Cowboy, and so you just.
I just like what Detroit was doing for the first time in forever. One of those teams that they were on that. That's what I like.
Absolutely.
About it too.
I was definitely pulling for him yesterday.
And I don't know what team decided to beat the Texans the week before because they didn't show up to beat Kansas City, and I thought for sure Baltimore was going to take care of it. I don't know what. And then Odell Beckham's daddy got mad because Odell Beckham said his deserved better quarterback play. You got Lamar Jackson. You don't get much better quarterback. I don't know what he was talking about.
Well, you got Spagnuolo as one of the best big game, playoff game defense coordinators.
But still.
And they designed – I don't know if you noticed. I mean, they were getting the pressure up the middle, but their defensive ends were being very disciplined and not allowing Jackson to get outside, get off to the edge. I mean, that was clearly – and then who would have thought Andy Reid, having a defensive – led team.
Correct.
Exactly.
It's not
correct.
But I know we're talking about the NFL and everything, but the one thing I wanted to get to is I know February 1st, big day coming up, big lineman. A lot of people are watching and everything like that, So you think there's going to be a big change for a lot of us around here? What do you think, Coach? I mean, I know you're looking at it as
a lot of us around here. I don't think a lot of us around here. I think some of our smaller schools, their districts are gonna stay relatively the same. I don't think they'll pull Joaquin North with Wascom and Elysian Fields, but they possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Wascom and EF will stay up north of I-20, and that district will stay relatively the same.
Right.
Us, I mean, I've seen 3 and 4 different projections. There's really no telling where we're going to go.
Just historically, we're right on the line.
Right.
We're either the northernmost team in the district or the southernmost team.
And history says we're not going to be with the district we were in outside of potentially Rusk and Carthage.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of been the only consistence.
Right.
Outside of that, we've went south, we've went west, we've went north. I mean, we've went every direction there is.
Except to east, which we can't.
Correct. We've went every direction you can.
But then you picked us. You got us the game east.
I know. At least got us going that way a little bit, but it has not been the same back to back.
Right.
So
there will be some.
I feel like there'll be some switch up, but just the interesting part is Liberty Allo dropping to 3A, and you have Paris. You got North Lamar sitting up there that they could pull to the Metroplex. Because Aubrey is bumping up to 4A Division I. So they could pull Paris over there with community in that district, and if that's the case, then they're going to pull us and Carthage up with PG, Spring Hill, Gilmer, and Pittsburgh.
Right.
If they want to leave them a 5-team district, then they're going to pull us back west, but then who do they pull us with because Athens is dropping? They could take Canton and Van to another district. They could even pull Canton and Van into that district and pull us and Carthage down Interstate 20.
Right.
So there's a few different scenarios. I mean, because when you actually look at it, PG to – not that I've spent a lot of time looking at it, but Pleasant Grove to Van and Canton is no different than what we have been driving to Van and Canton the last 2 years. So it's the same from a distance standpoint. So that's what I was saying. They could
probably
potentially
easier because that's all interstate.
Pull them that way. So there's no telling.
I mean, we've had years where we were in Madisonville's district.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the other thing. Before we saw the number, I knew Hardin Jefferson and Bridge City had opted up to 4A Division I because they're trying to get away from Jasper and Silsbee, and they knew China Springs and Waco La Vega were dropping back down, so they opted up. Well, the bottom of 4A did not change. It stayed 545. Well, Shepherd and Tarkington were around the 550 number, so they ended up jumping back up into 4A. Oh. So when I knew those other ones were opting up, I was saying, well, we could potentially go back south. Mm-hmm. Well, now you got Shepherd and Tarkington right there. They can pull over there to Jasper and Silsbee potentially, and it just recompletes that district. But, 2 schools for 2 schools. So I don't think that's where we would go. I really think it's going to be north with PG and Gilmer, or it's going to be west with Rusk and Brownsboro, Bullard, Athens, because Athens dropping down, kind of some form of one of those two. So
all right.
It'll be interesting, though, for sure.
Yeah.
9 o'clock Thursday, the internet will break.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much everybody's going to be in on all that sort of going on with that, too. Because it's not just football. I mean, does do basketball? I mean, it's almost all the rim runners. It's just a football season.
No, the ones we get Thursday are football, basketball, volleyball.
Okay.
And then later in the spring, around March, they release what they refer to as the spring districts, which become tennis, golf, track and field, cross country, even though that's in the fall. And then they'll release the baseball and softball districts.
Right. So on a related note, and we were going to try to get this in at the last show that we did at the Carthage Gym. I mean, we do have some pre-district opponents potentially, depending on scheduling and all that. Who can you talk about?
Yeah, well, we pretty much have all that set. There's, I guess, a situation where our second game could become a district opponent, but instead of Tatum did not want to play us week 1 anymore, so we picked up Jacksonville. So we'll open the regular season up with Jacksonville. We still have Spring Hill week 2, but if we end up in a district, then obviously that one will not stay. North DeSoto week 3, keeping Dangerfield week 4. And if we're in a 6-team district, then we'll play Gladewater week 5.
Ooh.
If we're in a 7-team district like we have been, then we won't play Gladewater. We'll have a bye week in district. Our 2 scrimmages this year will be Pine Tree first and then Kilgore second. So all that set, and hopefully it stays that way Thursday because
we've had a big history with Gladewater over the years too. You know, do they still pound the rock?
They do.
They're a big time running team there.
Yeah. Coach LeVere does that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I know we got to go to break here, but I saw something the other day I thought was really, really funny. I know you would appreciate it, coaches. There was a wedding going on. The groom, big Alabama fan, so his groom cake, Alabama cake, right, all on top. Yeah. But the bride played him up a little bit, cut the cake open. Purple and yellow because she's LSU.
See, I was wondering if it was going to be LSU or if it was going to be Auburn.
LSU girl, so she got to. But he said, I refuse to eat it, but then she stuffed it in the face anyway. But I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway. I know we got to have a break here. Now, so what I was wanting to ask you about, too, is the realignments. I know that's coming. That's a big thing. A lot of people are asking about that. So, and that's going on good, too. Also, we've got a really cool little camera that I'm going to be using. It's a motion camera, but I need to get a setup. And I may be out there. I may ask you if I can go out to the field in case somebody's out there and sees me out there, and they're not thinking, "Where's this weird guy out here doing stuff?"
What's he doing?
So I got your numbers. And when I'm out there, they don't know what I'm doing. If that's okay. Basically, what it is, I would say they have to set it up in like the on the field, and then you program it, and then it'll go. So after that, you can use it kind of like that. But I need a field or a court to get it set up for.
Right.
Other than that, I think we'll be ready to go.
Technological advances.
Yeah, because I run the camera by myself, and it'll help I can get.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. And we'll come back with the next segment of the Rick Meeks Show right after this.
Thought you'd seen the last of the Ford Bronco? Well, you were wrong. Ford brought the Bronco back so they could put the S in SUV. Comfort and connectivity for the highway to get you there. And then the power you need for your off-road adventure. Run at the front of the herd. Saddle up a Bronco at Center Motor Company. Right, taxes. We all got to take care of them. We all got to pay them. But do you really understand the rules? Or are you like me, you just know they're out to get your money? Well, you need fast tax, and you need it fast because you put it off to the very end, so now you have to get it really, really quickly, and your money and your return is waiting for you. At Fast Tax, Center, Texas.
Shelby Savings Bank has a brand new look. They're proud of where they've been, where they came from starting in 1981, but now they're moving forward with locations all over East Texas to serve you. Will Lucas knows that he's standing on the backs of giants that had a vision for the financial future of Shelby County. And he and his staff are taking that future into new directions with things like mobile deposits. It's the same bank, new look. Shelby Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Rick Meeks Show, live here from the Pizzeria, sponsored by Sabine State Bank. Of course, now it's time for our Wyndham Family Dental, something to smile about. Coach, you know about that. We've done this with you for a while.
Yes, sir.
Wyndham Family Dental provides something to smile about. We have a couple of things on basketball-related events to smile about. First of all, we just learned Coach is 6 victories away from 600.
Yep.
I mean,
that's pretty good. Not too many coaches in Texas that are like that.
No.
So yeah, that's pretty good.
And the other thing, something to smile about Friday night was our lady team reached the 20-win milestone. Which was a team goal, and now they still have room to exceed that even more. So that was the goal this year, to get 20 wins. You know, and so we're gonna get that. The ladies are in the driver's seat for the district championship.
Tomorrow night's a big night.
Yeah.
Big night. We handle business tomorrow night, then they're in really good shape.
Yeah.
That might actually
I think that'll seal the deal, won't it? Yeah, that should seal the deal for them tomorrow night.
I believe so.
Yeah. But even though we want to continue the momentum and just go all the way through.
Right.
Correct.
But yeah, that was something. I mean, Coach came and told us, we got our 20-win milestone, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely something to smile about because that success is. We kind of saw it building last year with Coach and with the ladies, and they're just, they're just at times just dominant.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. They've played really well, and I mean that's an attribute to Coach Smith. What he's been able to do in a short amount of time has just been phenomenal, and it just shows how much the girls believe in him.
Yeah.
And then how he's been able to put the talent piece it together out there. And I mean, they're fun to watch. They play hard. They compete. He coaches them all the same, including his own.
Yeah. No, I think he's harder.
He's a little bit harder on it. I think, just a little bit.
And so, anyway, they've been very fun to watch, and I continue. I'm ready to keep watching them and get out there tomorrow night to support them.
My thing is I know that y'all going to be still calling some center games or whatever, and I know I do my thing. But as soon as the girls hit the playoffs and we find out,
I know we were talking about that.
I want to be on that game quick.
But what's funny is you watch them, and it's just they just grind on the other people and just pressure and pressure. And then at some point, you see the other team just go. And that's it. And then they just but they do. I mean, then they put the foot on the accelerator, baby.
Right. Well, see, what's been fun for me is I got to go with you when they first started. We started watching the girls, this year, and I saw how good they were getting. And then watching them just on the replays of you guys, just how much better I've seen them get over the years. Just tenfold. I mean, it's just fun to watch. I mean, they're just such a good team, and the way that they play. It's just from when they started this year, they were really good, and now they're just really, really good. So I mean, I just like what they're doing right now. You're right, Coach Smith got them rock and rolling, got them believing, and they're playing like lights out, and they're ready to go.
Now let's switch gears briefly. We had Coach G on during the halftime of the basketball game on Tuesday. We talked about how we took Kilgore, the number 2 team in the state, down the wire, down to PKs, and just how well the gentlemen's soccer team is doing this year.
Right. Yeah. And then them and the girls both had big wins against Sabine the other night. Really good win for the girls, and then it went into I guess extra time.
Yes.
But took care of business there, and New Diana tomorrow, 10 Hall Friday. So could be a really good week for boys and girls soccer this week. Golf kicks off next week. They have their first tournament.
Right.
Tennis right around the corner. I think the end of January or the end of February. Same with track. Track's first meet is around February 22nd. So. Pretty busy. Pretty busy around the ranch.
We had the ranch. We had our softball coach come in. We were going to have the baseball coach, but that was the bad weather.
Correct.
So we'll get him in.
We'll get him back in here, and as well as Coach Hendricks. They have their first scrimmage tomorrow. They head to Wascom tomorrow night.
Yeah, middle of the month. That's kind of the tournament start for the softball season and stuff like that. And then toward the end of the month, the regular season going. So it's ready. We'll move right into the other. And that's ready to
Absolutely.
roll. So yeah, definitely.
So everything is on schedule and doing.
Yeah, we're finally out of the Texas winter. I think we can finally move on.
Maybe so.
But I'll tell you what's been. If you ask me, something to smile about this whole time is this: we've been having a lot of fun, and a lot of wonderful people have been accepting us, and they've been enjoying the shows, and everything that we're doing is kind of moving along here, and the coaches and everything. So something to smile about is just I'm real happy to be a part of it, man, and just having so much fun. It just keeps me smiling, man.
Coach, what you got smiling about this week?
Well, right. I didn't realize you were gonna head to girls basketball. I mean, that was what I was gonna hit on. Just the things that we've been able to accomplish there, and what Coach Smith has been able to do, and just the what he brings to the staff and to the program. So, definitely excited for our girls, and ready to watch everybody compete tomorrow night.
Yeah,
definitely.
What's one of the biggest fans up there. I just.
Oh yeah. Well, I see that. Way Waller was talking, you almost got tossed the other night. So.
But I think the funny part, and not necessarily that, but I was having a good time for a few possessions in a row because I was saying something, and the official kept turning it around and saying something to Coach Munoz on the bench. And so he thought it was Alex. And so I would just keep talking, and he turned around and would say something to Alex again. And finally I was like, I better stop, because about the third time he turned around, I could tell he wasn't very happy, and he kept saying it to Alex.
Right.
And anyway, so I was just quiet.
Yeah, I understand. That reminds me. So when
don't get a check, Coach. You be on the bench. Coach be have you on the bench.
He's gonna put me on the last seat. I mean,
this was funny. Let me tell you. So
I love watching our kids compete, and I go to bat for them. I just go to bat for them.
There you go.
Sometimes
that's what you got to do.
Gets the best of me.
Yeah, that reminds me, because one time when I almost got blamed. So it was speaking of Glaywater, you were OC. Kyle is coming down. Kyle Parks he's scrambling. He goes in the end zone. He gets the ball over the goal line, and then he loses possession of it. And they call it a touchback. And so I'm standing. You know how I was. I was right there, and then back behind me you hear, and something, and I don't know what, but there were some curse words in there. And the official looks at me with his hand. I go, it wasn't me. It was Matt Gregory. It was the Colonel. And him sitting back there, principal. And he looked at me. He was about to ring me up. I was like, it's not me. I said, I've been doing this for 15 years and hadn't got a flag yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised that my mouth hasn't got me a technical or a foul through the years, but yeah. But no, I'm glad you had it recorded now. I need to record it on my things too, because that way I don't have to say it out loud. Come on, ref, because they'll turn around and look at me sometime. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll try to get Chris Wallington over here,
yep.
and we can close out the show. Another fine bit of entertainment this evening. So we'll take our final break and be right back.
Matthews Realty, going above and beyond is what's expected. This is agency owner Colin Matthews. Our team of seasoned real estate professionals believe in giving their clients an advantage in any real estate transaction. Matthews Realty has a reputation of highly personalized service. Matter of fact, it's our #1 priority. From commercial and residential properties, poultry farms to beach rentals, our team works hard so you don't have to.
Call Matthews Realty at 598-7800 or visit MatthewsRealty.com.
Excuse me, sir. Could you help me with something? Sure. What can I help you with? No, my wife. She wants my bathroom to change. She says it's a little too plain. Unfortunately, if it can't be done with a hammer, I don't know what to do. Well, could I ask, where do you live? Well, usually in a house, but sometimes in the truck from time to time. No, what city? Center, Texas. It's not in the center, though.
No problem. In Center, Texas, people call Ricky Andrews Construction for all their construction needs.
Welcome back to the Pizzeria, and Sabine State Bank brings us this every week, the Rick Meeks Show, and we're glad that you are here with us. We appreciate the Forge down just to our right a little bit on the square, the support that they've brought to us every game for the last 2 years throughout the seasons. As the seasons progress, it's Dambert Column and the Forge. They're there waiting for you to make the commitment to a better you out at the Forge. And at Mooney's Emporium, it's almost Valentine's Day, Coach.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we better get off in there.
Yeah, and the thing is, she's so creative in what she has. I mean, you can kind of show up if you have something in mind, great. But if you don't, she can help. She can help.
Yeah,
she makes magic happen.
I need to take her up on that.
That's right, at Mooney's Emporium, and of course, Sabine State Bank and Steve Waters and all his staff. It is the Rick Meeks Coach Show, brought to you by Sabine State Bank here at the Pizzeria. So remember them as you plan your banking future. Larry, you've been so busy. Where will you be Friday night?
Tomorrow night, I'll be at West Sabine for St. Augustine, West Sabine. Very important games right there for both guys and gals. And then on Friday, Shelbyville. I will be in Shelbyville. Timpson at Shelbyville. Okay. So 2 big games coming up this week.
And the wonderful thing about that district is, we're talking about district realignment a couple of segments ago, and it is what it is, and you can't help it. But we're talking about whether our district rivals are going to be Tarkington or maybe Canton.
I don't know.
That's different parts of the state. There's no natural rivalry between Tarkington Center and Canton. It's just
a 2-year rivalry.
It's right. It's UIL fantasy football, but the district here, that's Timpson and Shelbyville, and then Joaquin and
Tenaha, and then St. Augustine.
Yeah.
And all of it.
These people are
then
kinfolks.
We can go wherever. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
theirs will stay pretty consistent, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think much will change on those.
It's just they're towns the exact same size, very convenient.
Yeah, I don't think. Looking at the numbers, I don't think any of them really changed up and down there. It's all in the same line, so they should be good.
It doesn't make any sense to break them up.
Yeah.
So,
The only reason it's different is because I found out because the basketball is because Torino and Bronx, they don't have the football programs. That's why St. Augustine's somewhere down there. So that's understandable now.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Took me a little bit to figure that out.
So I'm glad you get to cover those rivalry games.
We got them all over the place.
And then Shires and I will be in Center tomorrow night because that's where Gilmer is going to be when they play the Rough Riders and the Lady Riders. Talked about the Lady Riders. They're at 3 games left on their schedule. 3 games left. And if they finish out like we expect them to, they'll be district champs.
Yes, sir.
I don't know when the last time that has happened.
Well, I looked back on Max Preps yesterday, and it goes to 2005, and it wasn't.
No.
It's been before then.
Yeah, I would have thought
it's been a while.
So that's going to be y'all's question, not mine. I'm asking.
1994.
I've been in center for 4 years in the history of the town, 2015, and then since 2021. So y'all gonna have to help me a little bit on that one.
It's
been a while.
It was the 90s.
Correct.
And I mean, we had a shot there at having boys and girls, and I don't when that was. That's Reggie Daniels' time, not in the 70s and the early 80s. Right. So it's great stuff going on in center athletics.
Big time, big time stuff.
And we'll on Friday we will be going to Henderson, right? The Henderson Lions and the Rough Riders will play. So that's our
has to be.
That is our plan. So where will you be Tuesday night? Are you going to the game?
I'm going to be in the first row right behind the bench like I was last Tuesday night.
Doing your Alex Munoz
and
impression?
I'm going to be
Munoz in trouble.
I'm going to be ready to go.
If Alex Munoz gets attacked, I'm going to send you a gift.
Oh,
that's great stuff.
I know when to stop.
You know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
There you go.
Hope you enjoyed the Rick Meeks Show. I did, live from the pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Thank you to everybody who was a part of it today. It was just our two coaches, Harrison and Meeks, and of course a big thank you to Steve Waters at Sabine State Bank. Thank you very much, Larry. Hope you enjoyed the pizza. Steven Shire, he's pretty good too. Yep. We'll see you tomorrow in all different parts of our NetSN
all
network.
over the Potty Woods.
Many of you may know Brad Ernst from his coverage of Texas high school basketball for Hoop Insider. But did you know he also saves coaches and fans thousands of dollars on their insurance? Brad has access to multiple carriers and can shop around to find you the lowest rates on your home, auto, RV, boat, and ATV insurance. Contact Brad today and talk some hoops and see how he can save you on insurance. Email him today at hoopinsider@gmail.com or call him today at 409-988-4336.
3-point shot.
It's a powering shot, baby.
Takes it to the house. This has been a presentation of the Rough Rider broadcast team, brought to you by Watlington and Shires Productions.